Brothers, sisters, and others of all colors, welcome back to another YouTube video. This time, okay? Motherfuckers. Um, my beard slash facial hair is coming in way too strong. I'm gonna have to cut that off. But, yeah, that's the topic of the video, facial hair. No, I'm kidding. Totally kidding. Um, in this video, I want to talk about something. In fact, not just talk about it, I want to combat something that I've started to see just circulating. Like, oh yeah, you're not special. Life has no meaning. All of this cynical bullshit that people spread all the fucking time. Um, just to show how woke they are, just to show how freaking, how existentially aware they are. And it's like, that's not existential awareness. That's just being paranoid about other people. And I know what that's like because it fucking sucks all the fucking time to be like, oh, uh, somebody's thinking something about me that's fucking bad, right? It fucking sucks all the time. I go through it every fucking day. Why, then, would you force yourself to think like this? Force yourself to talk to yourself like this? Other than, like, it's ridiculous. First of all, just because something is subjective doesn't mean it isn't true. It's true to you, and it might be scary to a lot of people to hear that, oh, this subjective, other people have a bunch of different subjective thoughts, each of which are true in their own mind. I don't know what's going on. Guess what, motherfucker? That's everything in this world. But there's so much of the world that, you just trust and go with simply because you just don't know. And it's like, okay, yeah, but I should know. And it's like, well, you can't. I mean, you can try, and I'm trying my best to understand as much as I can about the world. But that's all I can do. And I know that the task is inevitable. The task is, not inevitable. I know that the task is impossible. And that's fine. All this shit about how you aren't the main character, you aren't special, you aren't this, you aren't that. It's just a bunch of bullshit that people have internalized about themselves coming from other people. They just gave up. They just gave up in the eyes of fucking shit-ass, cynical, fucking awful people. And they've robbed themselves of their own significance to themselves. It's like, you are the most important thing in your existence. That doesn't mean everything else is not important. It's true. Just because you are the one thing between yourself and non-existence, if you don't exist, then nothing you know or care about exists to you. Right? That just makes sense. You can't get past that. If you think you're getting past that, how are you getting past that? You're not getting past that. Come on. Because that's just reality. I'm literally saying, without A, there is no A. If no A, no A. So yeah, of course, you should feel like you are special. You should feel like you're the main character. You should feel like you're the shit, like you're awesome. And if anybody says otherwise, I think they're fucking stupid as hell. And this whole, like, cynical, fucking self-aware, ironic fucking nonsense that people keep spreading online, the quote-unquote self-aware, is really just like, oh, I'm hurt, and this person said this thing. And it's like, I'm not mad at you for being hurt. I'm mad at you for spreading hurt. It's ridiculous. How can you not be special when you've seen everything that you've gone through? When you Understand every particular nuance of yourself to a high degree. Own your own locality. Yeah, of course I think I'm better than other people. But you think you're better than other people too. And I think that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Oh, you think you're right about everything? Of course I think I'm right about everything. So do you. Because guess what? The system can't be wrong. You can't start a system from the system is false. It creates a paradox. It doesn't work. So yes, first of all, you, on the other side of the screen, are special, and you should think that you're special, and I should think that I'm special, and we should all think that we're special. The myopia of the human mind is not a flaw. It's not a mistake. It's something that actually helps people, that improves your life. It's the subjective, I guess not necessarily myopia, but it's the subjective, the myopia of the subjective mind is beneficial. Because if you don't think you're the shit, how are you going to do anything that proves that? It just doesn't make any sense. Of course I think I'm awesome. And then you go out and do it. Oh yeah, I'm the fucking best basketball player there ever fucking was. And guess what, motherfucker? That guy who thinks they're the fucking best is probably working way harder. So you should think that you're the best. And through that, you should use that to purify and cleanse yourself from the inside of the negativity that plagues you. It's a fucking big ass spider. Looks like one. But anyways, that's all I had to say, okay? Well, I guess I could touch on the whole life is no meaning thing. Yeah, meaning is subjective. So, to say that is just disingenuous. You're just lying. You're just lying, of course. Obviously life has no inherent meaning. But you can't just ignore your own subjectivity. You can't just ignore the meaning that you assign to things on a day-to-day basis. Assigning no meaning to something that you are assigning meaning to is just hypocritical. Doesn't make any damn sense. And it's good that you do assign meaning. It's good to assign meaning, and it's good to assign significance to things. Because that's what gives you fucking life. That's what freaking actually makes you feel like you're fucking alive, is to assign meaning to things. You know, I've been pretty annoyed, because I've been breaking out a lot of my own subjectivity. And everything's just feels bleak. It's empty. Like, there should be, like, it should be good to not be shackled to your subjectivity. But it just doesn't feel like anything. But anyways, yeah, so subjectivity is great. Alright? It's a fan-fucking-tastic thing. And if you aren't aware of subjectivity, you end up saying shit that you end up, if you aren't aware of your subjectivity, if you invalidate subjectivity, then you ultimately just end up becoming unaware of your own subjectivity. It's not like, oh, your subjectivity just disappears and you become the objective vessel of the world. That's not gonna happen. That's not what happens at all. What actually happens is that the subjectivity becomes ego, it falls in your damn subconscious, and next thing you know, you're calling objective things subjective things. Or you're calling subjective things objective things. You've basically cut off your arm, and now you're mad that you can't feel stuff from your hands. It's like, of course you can't. You cut off your damn arm. How are you supposed to know that, like, you're seeing rattlesnakes crawl across your arm, alright, your lost arm, and you're like, oh, well, there are these rattlesnakes, and it's horrible, and it's like, you can see it, but you're not really feeling it. You're not really fully aware of that, and you've given up control of that arm. The arm is gone. You can't move the arm, and you can't sense the arm. Well, but it's good because you cut off the arm, right? You can't feel the pain of cutting off your arm if your arm's... You can't feel the pain of anything that happens to your arm if you don't have an arm. Yeah, but guess what, motherfucker? You didn't consider the consequences of not being able to move that arm. And that's what it's like to cut off your own subjectivity, okay? Be a subjective entity, because that's what you are. And that's amazing. And that's great. Now here's the problem. Here's why people say, oh, well, you should just believe that you're not special. You should believe that you're not this or you're not that. Okay? Because it's all lies. It's all appearances. You're not fooling me, and you're probably fooling a lot of other people. I'm just... Okay. But it's lies, and you're not fooling me. If you're saying I'm not special, I can tell that you feel differently. It's not because a lot of the times when I see this content, it's from some guy who is yelling at you, who's fucking treating you like dog shit, all in an effort to get you to improve yourself, okay? You don't need this motherfucker to go work out. You just gotta know why you're working out. But anyways, my vagus nerve is active. Calming the hell down. Anyways, anything else? Oh yeah, the reason why people say, this, right? This is because you're being shackled by jealous people who have a lower level of vibration, to put it in law of attraction terms. But if you don't like the law of attraction, because you're a little baby, you're a little science baby, okay? Okay. I like science too, but guess what? It's a fucking thing, okay? I'm saying it's a thing. I'm pretty sure it's a fucking thing. Anyways, if you don't like the law of attraction, okay, let's see. somebody who doesn't feel very good about themselves, who has a lower vibration, who is, oh shit, that's the law of attraction term again, fuck. Basically, this person who is telling you that you are not special doesn't believe that at all. Just like everybody else. Really, they've just been pushed into conformity by intimidating action, by people of power who subjugate them, people who are supposed to guide them who really end up subjugating them. Narcissists. Well, I hate just throwing around that term, because quite frankly, I'm a fucking narcissist too, in some ways, okay? And a lot of people just grow up around fucking narcissistic people because it's a fucked up world, okay? Nobody's gonna be perfect. There's narcissists everywhere, okay? And that's fine. In different capacities and awarenesses of this narcissism, okay? It's a-okay. But anyways, the only person who would want you to believe that you're not special is somebody who believes that there's some scarcity of specialness, okay? And that, quite frankly, is not true. There is no scarcity because all of it comes from within. Your perspective is like, it just shoots out like an array spawning from like you, the origin of that perspective, okay? And then everything around you is sort of organized in such a way where you... Shit. Hold on. My brain is... I'm too calm. Give me a second. What I'm trying to say is that your perspective exists within its own dimension, okay? Within its own little plane of existence, alright? My perspective exists in its own little plane of existence. Your fucking perspective exists in its own little plane of existence that is separate from the total plane of existence, everything that's actually here. Well, not actually here, because you do see evidence of other people's subjective perception and subjective perspective being projected outwards to the world, okay? You do see it. And next thing, so basically, you exist, your mind exists in its own other universe, and then there's like the regular universe, and these two things are like separate things, okay? But both of them exist, they just exist on different levels, and sometimes they can cross between each other, okay? And that is basically what happens when you start to, sometimes it's projection, right? In fact, I think it's, well, in a lot of different ways it comes out, but sometimes in some places it comes out more so than others, right? But anyways, what am I going on about? But there's more internalizing that shitty negative talk, and that's why you gotta keep fighting to get like that shit out, right? But yes, you on the other side of the screen are special. Don't let any of these fucks tell you otherwise, okay? You don't have to be special to somebody else to be special to yourself. You don't have to be the main character in somebody else's life to be the main character in your life. Alright? And if somebody's the main character of their life, that doesn't mean you're not the main character of your life. All it is showing you. If you feel that way, then you need to fucking not listen to. Stop looking at them and start looking at you, because looking at you is a fucking. Looking at them is a fucking waste of time, and looking at you is the only fucking way that you're gonna actually solve your problem. You should absolutely feel like you're the main character. Because you are, in your story. And that's fine. Be someone. Because that's valuable.